afternoon, or good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of ages, and we're doing my picks this early? Yes, because my internet's actually cooperating. It's not wanting to pull a WCW 2000, which is a very good thing. So, good afternoon. I'm sure a lot of you may not be able to watch this right out the gate, but hey, if you are, I thank you. If you tune in later, I thank you as well. Hopefully your team's doing well in the playoffs, and we'll be talking about the college game as well for a little bit. No quick notes for this week because of Thanksgiving, you know. That happens, sadly. And don't forget, if you're enjoying these picks videos, please remember to leave a like and subscribe if you wish. That way you can be up, just because of the fact of you're not really seeing gameplay footage here, you're just seeing predictions. So let's go for a recap real quick of what happened this past week in week 11. On Thursday night, the Seahawks lost to the Cardinals. The Cardinals lost to the Seahawks, giving the Seahawks a great opportunity to win their division. The Browns easily destroyed the Eagles, and we will be talking about Philly because there's something I need to get off my chest that a lot of people have said about Wentz or the Philadelphia Eagles. You know what's going on there. There seems to be a lot of turmoil. So this should be very interesting indeed. Saints defeat the Falcons without Drew Brees. Bengals unfortunately lose Joe as they lose to Washington, but congratulations to Alex Smith for getting his first win in about 2 years after that horrific injury. I'll be talking about the injury to Joe later. Panthers shut out the Lions and get their first shutout win in a few years. So congratulations to them as well. Steelers beat the Jaguars, and you know it was the Jags. Patriots get their playoff chances hurt a bit by losing to the Texans. Dolphins also hurt their playoff stock a bit by losing to the Broncos. Jets could not pull off the upset over the Chargers, which I should have fucking known better, but that's my own stupidity trying to think the Jets will finally win. The Jets ain't gonna go pull Lions or Cleveland, yet there's a chance they might. By the way, hello everyone there on the NFL YouTube Prognosticators and the Sports List and all my other Facebook groups I'm in. Colts beat the Packers, which I did predict, another overtime victory. Cowboys turned things around, finally beat the Vikings, keeping the Cowboys playoff hopes alive. And Vikings, they still can make it, but they need some help now. Chiefs beat the Raiders in what was probably one of the better Sunday night games we've gotten this year. And then, of course, on Monday, the Rams did what I said they would do. They beat the Bucks. So this past week, I went 8-6. Not bad, not great. Barely winning week. For the season, though, I'm 104 in wins, 50 in losses, in that one stupid effing tie. Because, you know, we had to have a tie, unfortunately, which sucks monkey balls. But let's get to the college games real quick, because we're going to discuss the college playoff bracket that came out last night, and I'm going to make some predictions for the games this week. If the ESPN app will actually work, because apparently the app has decided to get down with the T-virus. So, playoff committee gave those 6. Florida was number 6. Texas A&M was number 5. Ohio State was number 4, which I was not surprised by that. You know, they haven't played a lot of games. Yes, they're undefeated, but not a lot of games on the schedule. I think that's why they're at 4. Clemson was at 3, which I'm going to be honest, to me personally, I've said this before, and when I give up my top 4, I know everyone's going to hate me for it. I can guarantee that. But, you know, me personally, I can't put a team who's got one loss in the playoff if there's teams behind them that are undefeated. Yes, I know everyone's going to be like, oh, Clemson's one loss was because they didn't have their starting quarterback. I get that. But to me personally, I care about record. Record speaks volume to me more than what you know, if you're undefeated, you should be in contention. Unfortunately, I know the NCAA doesn't look at it like that, because they'll be like, oh, if you're not from a Power 5 conference, or your strength of schedule's not that great, going undefeated doesn't really matter. But to me personally, you play to win the game. That is why, you know, everyone's hating on Pittsburgh, you know, saying soft schedule. But I'm like, you know, you play to win the game. It doesn't matter how soft the schedule is. You have to play to win, because if you lose against a sorry team, everyone's going to rip you for it. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. Notre Dame was 2 and Alabama was 1. I'm not surprised Alabama was one. I thought Notre Dame should be one because they beat Clemson. But I know Alabama got to be the one spot. I think mostly because of the fact they're from the SEC. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. Now my top 4. I'm going to leave Alabama at 1, and I got Notre Dame at 2. I'm going to only agree with that just because of the fact of both teams have had a hard schedule. Notre Dame's got a tough game Friday against number 19 North Carolina. I know everyone's probably shocked I'm saying it's a tough game, but North Carolina is a good team. You could make the argument if it wasn't for those 2 losses, North Carolina could be in the top 10. But let's go to the games now that we're going to have. I'm going to go over tomorrow's games, which is Thursday, and the Friday games as well. Thursday, you have 2 games at 2 o'clock on CBS Sports Network. It is 1 and 2 Colorado State taking on 2 and 2 Air Force. Give me the Air Force to win that game tomorrow. And tomorrow night on FS1, it is New Mexico, who hasn't won a game, versus Utah State, who also is winless. So one of those teams is finally going to get a W tomorrow night. Give me Utah State to get the first win of the year. Now heading to Friday, there are a lot of games on Friday, for people who don't want to leave the house. So of course we know I'm picking Notre Dame to beat North Carolina. That game's at 3:30 on ABC. Other big games to watch on Friday. Number 13 Iowa State takes on 17 Texas. Give me Iowa State to win that one. 8-1 Liberty takes on UMass. Give me Liberty. That one's on ESPN3 at 12 o'clock. At 1 o'clock on Fox, it is Nebraska taking on 24 Iowa. Give me Iowa. ESPN at 3:30, it's UCF versus USF. Give me UCF. 4 o'clock on FS1, it's Wyoming versus Nevada. Give me Wyoming. Fox at 4 o'clock Friday, it is Stanford against Cal. Give me Stanford in that one. And the last 2 games on Friday, Central Michigan versus East Michigan. Give me Central Michigan. That game's at 4 o'clock on CBS Sports. And then on ESPN at 7:30, it is Oregon, number 15, against Oregon State. Give me Oregon. Now back to my top 4. Alabama's 1, Notre Dame's 2. I know everyone's probably going to be shocked by this, but I don't have Ohio State 3 or 4. And that is mostly because of the fact of I haven't been able to watch a lot of their games, mostly because, what cancellations and everything, all that. So that's why I say this year's kind of hard, because a lot of teams you don't know. I know everyone's going to be like, oh, Ohio State's good, they've only played a few games. Me personally, I want to see a whole list of that. That's why I always say the first 3 playoff things from the NCAA don't really matter. Same as mine. But with that being said, though, who do I have at 3 and 4? Well, number 3, I'm going to surprise everyone. I'm going to take Northwestern. They have, I think, quietly shocked a lot of people. I think a lot of people are not talking about them because of the fact of what division they're in. Simply because they play in the Big Ten West. That's why they're not getting talked about, I don't think, that much. I don't even really hear them mentioned on sports radio that much in the car. By the way, Penn State, I'm sure that's the running joke in Pittsburgh right now. Pittsburgh being undefeated, what did he have to sacrifice? Penn State's college football season. So that gives me to number 4, though. Because, I'm a firm believer if you're undefeated, you should be in the top 4 playoff. That's why I would say, I would love to see Marshall get in, but I know Marshall's not going to get in. I think everyone's probably happy Marshall's undefeated right now. I don't think too many people are going to be upset Marshall is ranked as high as they are. But my 4 team's gonna be Cincinnati, guys. I've said before I've been enjoying them. I think a lot of people are just giving them a thumbs down because they play in the American Athletic Conference, which is not one of the Power 5s. But I'm sure someone's going to disagree with my list, and I understand that. I'm probably going to be coy. I already know you are, Coy. You and me talked about it already. I already know you're going to disagree with my list, but I can respect that. We're going to have a difference of opinion on this one. And would I like to see CCU get it from somebody? I'd love to see them move up. But again, small conference, I know the NCAA is not going to benefit a small conference team, unfortunately, and sadly that's just the way it is. It sucks, but that's the way the NCAA is. Unless you're in the Power 5, the only way you're going to probably make it from a small conference, you're going to have to go undefeated and then even hope there's teams from Power 5 conferences who have a lot of losses. So with that out of the way, let's get to the NFL real quick. We're going to go over the standings real quick for the playoffs. because it's stuff you may need to know. Now, there's no buys this week for any team, so if you're wanting to fix your fantasy, please go do so. I take a drink of Mountain Dew. Which one is it again? Frostbite, which is the one with the shark on it. Nano. I'll read that to load. I hope everyone's having a good Wednesday. Happy hump day. Don't forget, and happy early Thanksgiving to everyone out there in the world. Because it is almost turkey day. Gobble, gobble. Gobble, 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 gobble. So let's take a look at the AFC playoff standings right now. The number 1 seed is Pittsburgh, and remember, because we have 7 seeds this year, who's ever the number 1 seed gets the first round bye. Pittsburgh is in control of their own destiny. Kansas City's the 2 spot at 9-1, with Buffalo at the 3rd spot, 7-3, and Indianapolis in the 4th seed at 7-3 as well. Now, 5th and 6th seed are both tied at 7-3, but Tennessee has the tiebreaker over Cleveland. And your 7th seed right now is Oakland. You know, they did lose, but they did get some help with Miami and Baltimore losing. Baltimore, Miami, both 6-4 on the outside looking in. Denver, New England, Chargers, Houston, they all need help getting in. You could probably kind of eliminate Cincinnati and Jacksonville after this week. Jets have already been eliminated. In the NFC, you have New Orleans as the number 1 seed, followed by the Rams at 2, Packers at 3, and for right now, Philadelphia at the 4th seed. But Giants, Washington, Dallas are still in it because that division sucks, unfortunately. The wildcard teams right now, Seattle's sitting pretty at 7-3, Tampa Bay sitting at 7-4, and Arizona's at 6-4. Chicago and Minnesota and Detroit Niners, they're all at 4-6. Oh, Chicago's 5-5. They're the closest you can pass maybe Arizona. But Minnesota, Detroit, San Francisco, and Carolina, they're all in the hunt to maybe try to win the 7th seed. Giants, Washington, and Dallas kind of on the outside. Atlanta still needs some help as well. So, but this gets me to a thing I want to talk about. First, I want to talk about the Jets and Jags. At this point, those are the 2 teams battling for the 1 and 2 seed, just because everybody else has got a few more wins. And there's a good chance the Jets could go 0-16, because, to be honest, and I said this a few weeks ago, felt like they were tanking, and I'm a firm believer that teams should not be awarded the first pick in the draft because, oh, they played like crap. And here's who the Jets have left. They got the Dolphins, then the Raiders, then the Seahawks, the Rams, Cleveland, and then New England. What do you tell you? The Jets are favored to lose to the Raiders by at least points. I think Jacksonville might get one more win, and I say that because the rest of the Jaguars' schedule, you play the Browns this week, then you play a okay Vikings team, then you play the Titans, you play the Bears who have offensive issues, then you end with the Colts. I could see Jacksonville maybe getting 1 or 2 more wins out the rest of the way. So I'm going to say this, the Jets will be the number 1 pick. So we're going to see if the Clemson quarterback decides to pull an Eli Manning. Because I don't know if anybody would want to go play for the Jets, particularly with what Sam Darnold's going through right now. And as far as for Carson Wentz, I know a lot of people in Philly, some people want him benched. The coach ain't going to want to do it. I've been hearing that players don't want him anymore. They wish they had Nick Foles back from what I've been hearing. But yeah, I think at this, and you know, not all of it's on Wentz's fault. Yeah, he's thrown a lot of picks, but remember how bad that offensive line is. That offensive line is not that good because of injuries. But let's run down the picks real quick. On Thursday, we have 3 games. The first one is the Lions at home against the Houston Texans at 12:30 on CBS. Houston is favored to win that game by 3 points, and I'm going to take Houston here. Lions got shut out this past week. I don't know what if the Lions would have at least shown up and fought, I could have said, okay, maybe I'll take Detroit, but Houston showed more heart in the win. Lions didn't show anything this past week, so I'm going to take Houston on the road. Up next, the late game on Fox on Thanksgiving, my Cowboys against Washington. Loser of this will probably be, if not mathematically eliminated from winning the division, but be on life support, depending, because the division's bad. You could probably win it as an 8-8, but we know I'm taking the Cowboys. This is a do or die game, though. I think for both teams, whoever loses this most likely will be hearing the beep 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 beep, and you're gonna get asked, do you want to pull the plug? And then the Thursday night game, undefeated Steelers at Baltimore. Steelers have been playing well. Baltimore's been playing bad, to where I'm actually thinking they may not make the playoffs. Where earlier this year I would have thought they would have been a shoo-in. I'm taking Pittsburgh here, guys. Pittsburgh to me is just the better team. Do I think Pittsburgh's going to lose a game before they get to the playoffs? Yes, I do see them throwing a game on purpose just to get the loss out of the way. I'm probably going to say it's probably week 15 or 16 that happens. It depends if they have the division of the number 1 seed locked up at that point. Now, of course, with that being said, the Ravens-Steelers game could get postponed because a lot of the Ravens players did get tested for the C virus, so they could become zombies and work for Albert Wesker and the Umbrella Corporation. If you don't get that joke, you haven't been watching my Resident Evil Let's Plays over the last few years. But I'm taking Pittsburgh at home. Pittsburgh is favored by 4.5 points. Dallas, by the way, is favored by 3. Moving on to the Sunday games now. We're going to start off with the Titans-Colts. Colts are favored by 3 points. Both teams have been playing red hot. Colts won the last meeting, destroying Tennessee. Colts are at home. I think Indianapolis wins this game again and can control their own destiny in their division. I got the Colts. Up next, it is the Giants and Bengals. And by the way, this is my lock of the week. I am taking the Giants to beat the Bengals. Bengals, Joe Burrow is out for the rest of the season. He tore his ACL, MCL, knee damage in that leg. So I'm going to take the Giants. It's probably a safe pick, but it's my lock of the week. Giants are favored by about 6 points. By the way, Colts and Titans is my game of the week as well. Moving on, Bills are at home against the Chargers. Buffalo's favored by 6 points. I'm going to take the Bills at home, guys. Sorry, Bills are just a better team. I think Chargers, what they've been doing with their rookie quarterback's been great. He's going to probably win Rookie of the Year now. And Chargers, the problem with picking the Chargers here, for me personally, if I was to pick them, they've given up so many leads in games this year, more than Atlanta has, to where it's disturbing. But I'm taking the Bills here. Up next, Raiders on the road against the Falcons. Raiders are favored by 3 points. I'm going to take I almost wanted to say Oakland again. I'm going to take the Las Vegas Raiders here. I think Raiders bounce back. Atlanta's not really known for holding on to leads this year. Personally, I think we're going to see a whole new Atlanta team next year. I expect a lot of moving going on. Personally, I think it should be about 20. That's how bad Jacksonville is. But I got the Browns winning that game. Speaking of a game I can't really hype up, Dolphins at Jets. Dolphins, sorry, Jets are terrible. Did you not hear what I just said a few minutes ago? It feels like they're trying to tank. With that being said, watch them finally decide to show up and win. When the Jets fans probably don't want them to win anymore right now. They want them to go winless. And I'm going to say this personally. If you were to tell me, Doug, which team is the worst out of the 3 teams who, if the Jets go 0-16, Lions, Cleveland, or Jets, Jets would be the worst. Because at least with Detroit, they tried to win games. With Cleveland, they tried to win games. Jets, I'm honest, have they actually tried to win any games this year? At all? Seriously. Up next, Cardinals and Patriots. By the way, I should point out if anybody cares, Jets are favored by 7. Browns are favored by 7 as well. Cardinals and Patriots. I got the Cardinals here, guys. Cardinals are a better team. Patriots look like to be lost right now. I think this should be a good bounce back for the Cardinals, but Patriots need this win a little bit more than Arizona, but I'm taking the Cardinals. Cardinals are favored by about 3 points, give or take. And lastly, I think this is the last 1 o'clock game as well on the schedule. It is the Panthers and Vikings. Vikings are favored by 4 points, but I think what they did against the Lions was pretty good. Vikings lost the game they probably could have won easily against Dallas, since Dallas was pretty much not really fighting, but apparently Dallas had some fight this past week. Vikings need this win and then win out to have any shot out of playoff spot, in my opinion. But I think Carolina wins this and keeps their playoff hopes alive for at least the 7th seed on that. I know we're going through these quick, guys, and I'm sorry, but hey, I'm going to get these done. Split, clickety, boom, boom, boom. Up next, it is the Saints against the Broncos. Saints are favored by 6 points. This to me is probably the definition of a trap game, because I think a lot of people were shocked by Denver last week. Denver could pull off the upset this week. But I'm taking the Saints on the road to win. And I get to make my buddy Dave cry, because unfortunately I am not picking the Niners here to beat the Rams. Rams are at home. Rams are favored by 7 points. Sorry, Dave. Gotta pick the Rams on this one. Just a better team. Niners have too many injuries for me to be entrusting them right now. But Niners need this one. I should point that out. Niners need this more than the Rams do. Then the 425 game this weekend. It is the Chiefs and Bucks. I'm taking the Chiefs, guys. I'm sorry. Buccaneers, what the hell were you thinking on Monday? What was Tom Brady thinking? This has been another game of his to where he's played bad. And I think he's going to play bad this week because the Chiefs are just way better than the Rams, that's for sure. And plus, the Chiefs have that high-powered offense, so let's be honest, excluding that one loss to the Las Vegas Raiders early in the season. Chiefs even discussing this to me is a train wreck from hell. I'm surprised Seattle's only favored by about 6 points. You'd think it would be higher. But I'm taking the Seahawks to beat the Eagles. Philadelphia, I don't know what's wrong with them, excluding the quarterback and injuries, but this has been a definition of a train wreck for them. If the Eagles lose this game, that's going to put them, there's a good chance, and I said it a few weeks ago and everyone thought I was nuts, but there's a good chance that if the Eagles lose this and Giants, Dallas, or Washington, I said Giants would probably have the best bet, that if the Giants run the table, the Eagles would lose the division. I'm going to laugh if that happens. I'll laugh if Dallas does it. I'll laugh if Washington does it. Because Philly, all they had to do after getting that tie was win, and they haven't been able to do it. That's what's funny here. So as a quick recap, I have the Texans, Cowboys, Steelers, Raiders, Bills, Giants, Colts, Panthers, Cardinals, Dolphins, Browns, Saints, Rams, Chiefs, Packers, and the Seahawks getting a W this week. I know this video's not been as long as my other pick videos. I do apologize, but with it being Thanksgiving tomorrow, trying to get some videos rolled out as quick as possible due to Tuesday's internet issues not being able to stream. So I do apologize about that. But next week we'll have probably a longer show because we'll probably start going through every college game on Saturday that are important. We'll probably discuss more about the playoff situation as well. Well, let's go ahead to week 13 real quick. Cowboys and Ravens on Thursday night next week. I'm in trouble on that one because my mom's a Ravens fan. Next Sunday night's going to be a good game as well. Broncos and Chiefs. So that I don't see that one getting flexed. And the Bills and Niners on Monday night. I don't know if we'll actually see any more flex. I don't think we'll see a flex game again on Sunday because week 14 has a great Sunday night game. Week 15 could get switched just because of the fact that both teams are kind of blah. Week 16, I don't see that one getting switched. So pretty much if you want to see what game gets switched to a late game, it's probably going to be that one getting switched, probably with the Chiefs and Saints, or yeah, that's probably the only one that will get switched. If they do decide to switch it, we'll see. Until then, guys, I hope you have a good night. See you later tonight for one of many streams. And have a good, happy Thanksgiving. If I don't get to talk to you, see you soon. Goodbye, everybody.